Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Sunday. It's the 12th day of October 2025. We're doing our normal live podcast today early. I know I'm catching y'all off guard, but today is busy down in Plant City, Florida. I was with my brother. His retirement party was last night. And this morning, we're getting ready. I got to catch a flight going to DC to see some of my babies. So I came in early today to get the pod in because I won't be able to do it. I'll be on my way to Dulles in Virginia by the time I normally do it. So here we are this morning. At least we get to talk a little Knicks before the trip. June 15th, welcome to all of you. And like I said, I'm not surprised at who comes or who doesn't come today because, like I said, this is early and we are just wanting to get something in before we go. And we always want to talk Knicks. Cool Kyle G, what's up? Henry Perez, superstar, my brother. Y'all up early. G Bastino, what's up to y'all? Oh wow. Omari Belgrave, Cash Out James, Jabroni Z. What's up, y'all? Good morning. Good Sunday morning to y'all. Glad that you can be with us today. That's good. I was surprised. Okay. I didn't expect anybody to be here. I didn't expect nobody. So I'm glad to see y'all this morning. I hope you're all safe and healthy wherever you are and that your family is safe and healthy. Yes, true Cash Out. Soldier Sim, good morning. And that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, especially health, are being met today. Good morning, Miss Lee. Good morning again to you. Let's wait a second before we get started because I see people piling in and I wasn't expect. Tony Bell, blessings. Good morning to you. Good Sunday morning to you. First day of the week morning to you and to all of you. So there is, I see. I'm very excited about the Knicks, as you can already know, as many of us are. I'm very excited about the Knicks, and for good reason. I'm seeing a lot of good things in the practices and in the preseason. Hey, what's up, Dutch Money 22? Yes, I'm very excited, and I'm anxious to discuss some of those things. Now, keep in mind, the Knicks have 3 two-way players already signed, which means the regular roster is 12. They can keep 15, but that 15 includes 3 two-way players. So they already have the 3 two-ways. Okay, they already have the 3 two-ways. So at this point, we're dealing with the 12 players that are going to be your regular roster players. And so there's only 12 spots. And we're going to discuss that a little bit because of those 12 spots, at least 9 of them are already filled. So you're really talking about 3 spots. And I don't think many people understand that. Like I was telling people the other day, this is the time to try to make the team. If you don't have a guaranteed contract, you could get cut. Right. And as we're talking about players like Kolick or Daddy, they got guaranteed contracts, which means no matter what happens, they're getting paid, but they can be traded. Okay. So there's 12 spots. We're going to discuss that. There's 12 spots and 9 of them are already taken. So there's really 3 spots that we're talking about. Okay. There's really 3 spots. And those 3 spots right now, players that don't have guaranteed contracts, like Alex Len, are trying to get one of those 3 spots. And if you are hurt and you don't have a guaranteed contract and it's preseason, you ain't making it. Okay, Shalom Organic, what's up, man? Say hello to the fam for me. Good morning to everybody. Cliff Allen, good morning to you. If you are hurt in preseason, like if Malcolm Brogdon had got hurt or gets hurt in preseason and he can't play, he's going to get cut. Okay. This is the time you can't miss no games right now when you ain't got a contract, a guaranteed contract. Okay. You got to be there to play. Dutch Money, I appreciate that. Dutch Money. I appreciate that. Well, this is the thing. Cash Out James says Brogdon, Matthews, and Shamet there's 3 spots. There's 3 players. Okay, right? Cash out. If there's 3, now that means that if they're gonna keep all 3 of them cats, 2 people need to be traded. Because right now the Knicks have, of the 3 spots available, they got 1 rookie contract, which is Diawara. So you could take that off the table. Diawara is gonna get the rookie contract because he's the only rookie. And then you got 1 vet contract. Right? So the vet contract, I'm saying to y'all, is going to go to Shaman. Shaman's getting the vet contract. Okay. And you could tell that, just look at the rotation in the first 3 preseason games. Shaman's always in there. Okay. He ain't getting no DNP-CDs. He's playing. So Shaman is going to be that guy, in my view, that gets. So now, if they want to add another vet, they got to trade somebody. If they want to add 2 vets, they need to trade 2 players. It's very simple, right? So I'm telling you right now, they're going to trade somebody. And I'm telling you, it's going to be Kolek or Daddier. Now, this is we're going to go into, because a lot of people are still a little confused with the numbers. And I get it, and everybody's a numbers person. So we'll go into the numbers once. I'm going to give it like another minute, and we're going to go into the numbers, because I think a lot of people are still confused with the numbers. All right. But there's certain principles that we should, as Knicks fans that have been watching this team for at least the last 5 years under the Don, aka Leon Rose, you should understand certain things. Number 1, he is always looking for value. That means he's getting something for less than the full price. He's always doing. When you see Jalen Brunson leave $100 million on the table, that's the Don getting value. Because Jalen Brunson is worth, if Tatum and Brown are worth 200, 300 million, certainly Jalen Brunson is worth that. Okay. But he's not taking that because the Don is getting value. When you see Mikal Bridges leave $6 million on the table, that's $6 million. The Don's getting value. Okay. So that's why I was surprised even that they picked Pacome Daddier in the first round, because the Don is looking at second round in this parity-driven situation that we're in. And I have to say, I have never seen as much parity in the NBA as I've seen in the last 5 years. A lot of parity. You could get good talent in the second round, right? You could get good talent in the second round. And then look at the Knicks. They got Deuce in the second round. He's in the rotation. They got Mitchell Robinson in the second round. He's in the rotation. So you could get rotation pieces. Look at Jalen Brunson. He's all NBA. He was in the second round. You could get talent in the second round. Okay, you can get good talent in the second round. So Diawara, second round, right? So you could get talent in the second round. And the Don is looking for value. So you can bet, especially now that they're in championship mode, he ain't picking no first round. He's going to trade down. And he's going to get value in the second round. And he's going to get it because it's there. Okay? So that's what he's looking for. Second rounders are not guaranteed a lot of money usually. So they're going to work hard. They're going to be available. They're going to be in shape. They're going to put their all into it. You get good value from players like that. Okay? And they got to prove themselves. Prove themselves from the rookie camp. Prove themselves in the summer league. They got to prove themselves. So thank you, Severe Jorgensen. Yeah, we're getting ready to fly out of here. So I figure I'd come on here for about an hour and talk some Knicks with y'all. So, all right, let's get started. So let's talk first. There is 9 players that are guaranteed to be on this team opening night. The starting 5, which at this point for the preseason, it's been Mitchell Robinson with Jalen Brunson, with Mikal Bridges, with OG Anunoby, and of course, Karl-Anthony Towns. Then you got Jordan Clarkson, who has a guaranteed contract. He's making the team. Deuce McBride, obviously. Josh Hart, obviously. And then, of course, you got the newest guy, which is Gershon Yabusele. So those 9 are on the team. They're not trying to make the team. They're on the team, okay? Now, if it's a 12-man roster, that leaves 3 spots. That leaves 3 spots. Now, let's take Diawara off the table because Diawara is going to make the team. I've been telling you that from the summer. He's going to make the team. He's going to get the rookie $1.1 million deal. That's him. He's got that. All he had to do was show up, show healthy, show some NBA level defense, which he has done. The rest will come. They're going to develop him. That's a youngin. And for all of the people, I keep getting people say, we can't trade Daddy A. He's too good. He got upside. Listen, let me ask y'all a question. Y'all ready for the question? I'm going to ask Knicks Nation. Let me ask y'all a question. With you got Dink Pate, who's going to be on the G League team. When you got Diawara, and when you got Najee, don't you have in those youngins that you can develop? Am I wrong about that? Aren't those youngins you can develop? You got Dink Pate, you got Muhammad Diawara, and you still got James Najee. You control his rights. So do you have talent? So why are you worried so much about Daddy A? I'm not saying Daddy A is not going to be a player. I hope he is. He got guaranteed money. He's going to get his money. But if you're trying to win a chip and you're trying to keep some youngins to develop later, I think you still got that. You still got that. And the thing is, when you add up the money, and that's what we're talking now, this is business. So when you add up the money, you add up what they got to pay a G League Dink Pate, a G League Najee, and 1.1 million for Diawara. All of those monies combined are less than Daddy. Think about that. All of the money you're paying 3 players combined are less than you paying Pick Home Daddy. It's not a hard decision. That's all I'm saying to y'all. It's not a hard decision. Okay, it's not a hard decision. So let's talk about the money. Why is Daddy A being traded above Kolek? A lot of people say, let's trade Kolek. Well, let's talk about a Kolek trade. Kolek makes $2.1 million. Okay, everybody got that? Kolek makes this year guaranteed $2.1 million. He's guaranteed. His contract is locked in for 3 years. So he's going to get $2.1 million this year, probably somewhere in that same neighborhood next year. He's got 2 more years. He just come off his rookie year. He's going to get his money. He's going to get the minimum guarantee of $6 million for his rookie contract, which is pretty good for a second rounder. In fact, I don't think the Knicks have ever played a second rounder that much money. So he got 2.1. The Knicks right now have 3.7 available. So let's do a little math. So 3.7 plus 2.1 is 5.8. So if you trade Kolek, you have $5.8 million. Okay, everybody got that so far? Did I lose any of y'all yet on that addition? Because if you trade Kolek into somebody's cap space, you now have $5.8 million to spend. Okay, but out of that $5.8 million, you got to take out Diawara's money. That's 1.1. Okay, you take out 1.1. Then you got to take out Shamit's money. That's 2.2. So now you take 2.2 out, you're left with 2.7 or something like that, right? So 5.8 minus 1.1 is 4.7. Take 2.2 out, that's 2.5. Then you got to pay Brogdon. Now you're gonna sign Brogdon, right? I think we're all agreed they're gonna sign Brogdon. So now you take out 2.2. That leaves you $500,000. That's not enough to get another minimum contract at midseason. If you need to sign a DeLon Wright type of player, if you need to sign a campaign type of player for half a year, you don't have enough money. Okay, so if you just traded Kolek, you got 2 extra players, but you could not do any more deals. You're locked in to this roster for the season. If somebody gets hurt, you could not bring. And hey, listen, we're deep, right? But if you know the Don, he wants to always have options in his back pocket, and he's real cheap, right? So now let's talk about Daddy A. Daddy A is 2.8 million. He's 700,000 more than Kolek. 700,000 more. So if you add that 700,000 to $500,000, now you got 1.2. That's enough to pay a vet min for half a season. Does that make sense, y'all? So if you traded Daddy, you still get Brogdon, you still get Shamet, and you got enough money that if somebody blows out and you need a vet to come in the middle of the year, you got enough money to sign him. Okay, so the difference is if you trade Kolek and him alone, you don't have enough money to bring anybody else in. You got to ride with this roster for the rest of the year. You might be able to get somebody on a 10-day late in the season, but that's not usually what you want to do. If you trade Daddy, you could actually get a solid veteran on a guaranteed year, half a year deal, and you can afford that. Does that make sense, everybody? So that's why Daddy is the preferred choice. It's not based on performance. Many people want to, when somebody's being traded, they want to say he's traded because he sucks or he's traded because it is. No, sometimes it's straight business. It's straight business. That's all this is, straight business. Okay? The championship roster, the championship part of the roster is those first 10 or 11 guys. That would include Shamet and Brogdon, plus the 9 that you're going to have. That's the championship part of the roster. Okay. Y'all got that? I want to make sure, is that pretty clear on y'all? So that's what I'm saying. Daddy would be the first choice because of the money. It's just because of the money. It's strictly because of the money. Now, if you traded Daddy and Kolek into somebody's cap space, now you got almost $9 million. You can afford 6.6 for 3 vets. With that's Garrison right there. That's Garrett Matthews. And you still got Diawara. You can afford all of them and still have money. Still have money for another veteran if you need them later. So that's the difference. If you trade Daddy, you can keep Brogdon and Shamet, and you got money for a veteran after January, after the halfway point of the season, where you're going to have to pay him half a year of salary. If you trade Kolek and Daddy, you can keep 3 veterans now. So you can keep Shamet, Brogdon, and Garrett Matthews. You can keep all 3. And then half a year, you still got money to sign a vet. So the maximum amount of flexibility is trading both of them. Okay, that's y'all. Are y'all following me? So it's not about hating one or not. No, it's the money. It's all about numbers right now. It's not about who performs and who doesn't. It's all about money. That you really got to just look at the salaries. That's what you're dealing with right now. That's it. Go to Spot Rack and look at the salaries. That's telling you what they got to do. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say. Well, that's Cash Out James says Kolek has no value on this team, and Pacone could be a hit, but it doesn't matter. Again, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. We're talking about money. Okay, so you're talking about a 24-year-old guy who's not in the rotation in Kolek, and you're talking about a 20-year-old guy who's not going to be in the rotation in Daddy. Neither of those guys are going to be in rotation. Okay, Diawara is going to play before them when over the 82-game season. So you're talking about money right now. It's not personal. You know what they say. It's not personal. It's business, right? Yeah, it's not personal. It's business. So I think Pacone is the one that's going to go first for 2 reasons. The money, number one. And as Cash Out James was talking, he said Pacone, what did he say there? He said Pacone could be a hit because so therefore, in this particular situation, I think we can agree Pacone Daddy has more value than Tyler Kolek. Is that correct? I mean, y'all agree with that? So he's more valuable as a trade chip than Kolek is. Okay, good morning, Coach Hauser. So that is why he is the one that's probably going to go first. And that's why you've been seeing him get more minutes in preseason. It ain't like Mike Brown is playing him because he's planning on playing him during the season. It's a trade. He's showcasing him for a trade. Okay. Yeah. So Dutch money, I hear you, but they don't look at it like that. Now, if Matthews was to drop 40 in the preseason game, yeah, he'd make the team. But hitting one shot, that ain't gonna do it. Matthew is what he is. He's a spot up shooter in the NBA level, which means The speed of the game don't mess with him. He can hit spot up jump shots. That's what makes him very valuable. See, again, I like to bring up the kid from BYU that did that, and the many others that flame out because they can't shoot in the NBA level. Matthews can shoot on the NBA level, so he's gonna be here if the Knicks can afford it. So, and he is not going to be demanding minutes. He'd be glad to get that 3.5 million. He'd be glad to sit on the bench and get that three and keep his wrist loose so he can come out there and hit the jump shot. That's all. You ain't got to worry about him. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm not even comparing Shamet to Matthews. We're not talking about that. Yeah, Jimmy Fredette is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I like using him as the poster child of a great shooter in college and high school that did not make the league because he could not adjust to the speed of the game. That's Jimmy Fredette. And there's others like him. A lot of people like him. But no, I'm not trying to debate whether Shamet is better than Matthews. To me, that's not even close. Shamet's way better. So that's what I'm saying. Shamet getting that first deal. There's no doubt about that. We're talking about, are they going to keep Brogdon and Matthews or just Brogdon? Because they're keeping one of those two. It's not about Shamet, Brogdon, and Matthews. Don't believe the hype of the clickbait out there. A lot of these people know what the hell they're talking about. They keeping Shamet. I'm going to tell you right now, Shamet is going to be on the New York Knicks. The question is it Brogdon and Shamet or is it Brogdon, Shamet, and Matthews? That's the question. Okay. That's what we're really trying to answer. I'm not arguing about Shamet better than Matthews. Oh, hell yeah, Shamet better than Matthews. He's been in many big games in playoffs and showed himself. And he plays high level NBA defense. So no, I'm not even trying to compare them. That's not even worth discussing. Shamet is the dude compared those two, right? But we can't deny that Matthews can come. Matthews could be dead asleep at midnight. You can wake him up, say, get in the game and hit a three, and he could do it. You hear what I'm saying? That's Matthews. Say, Garrett, get up, and he'd be dead asleep. Say, get out there and hit a three, and he'll do it. That's what his value is, okay? That's what we're talking about. Okay? Now, Shamet could do that too, but that's all Gareth and Matthews brings to the table. But that's good enough. Okay, that's good enough. You need somebody to come in there and a spare. You need a three. You want to put all 3-point shooters out. You got 8 seconds left, and you're getting one shot at a basket, and you down by 1 or down by 2, and you need a three. You put Gareth and Matthews out there. Okay, you're gonna put him out there. No, Matt Ryan ain't got enough mobility. You know who Matt Ryan is? You ever see a guy when you was in high school and junior high school, right? You 13 years old, and there was a kid. He was bigger, stronger, faster than everybody at 13. But by the time y'all got to be 16, y'all all caught up to him. You ever see that? There was a kid I was in a school with. He was like 5'9" when we was in the 7th grade, and everybody thought he was going to grow up and be a star center. He's going to grow and blah, blah, blah. He stayed 5'9". By the time we got to high school, he was the 15th man because he stayed 5'9" and he never grew, and all he had was big man moves, and he couldn't play. See, Matt Ryan hit his peak as a senior in high school. And so that's good enough to get college scholarship. It's good enough to be on a college team, but it's not good enough to be a pro. And so he can shoot. He was big time. He was Mr. Basketball in New York State. So that was his peak. And he never got better than that. Okay, that was his peak. And so based on that reputation, he would get a 4-year deal. But people would be disappointed because he couldn't grow from there in terms of his game or his body. And he don't have enough mobility to get his shot off. Okay, and obviously he don't have enough mobility to play NBA level defense. He doesn't. So yeah, so Ryan is out. I'm gonna tell you right now, he ain't even played in the last game. He ain't playing the last game. You can't be missing games. You can't be getting DNP CDs in preseason, man. You can't do that, especially you on a non-guaranteed deal, and in game 3 of the preseason you getting the DNP CD. Oh, you done. You done. He might play tomorrow just to give him one more chance at it. But he, yeah. So, Yeah. So no, Alex Lynn was DMPCD in the last game. Who against Minnesota? DMPCD. So I'm telling you, he ain't here. He gone. Alex Lynn is gone. And you know why Alex Lynn is gone? Because Hoop Porty said, "Oh, y'all trying to bring me competition? Let me ball out." And Hoop Porty said, "No, you're not getting my spot." That's why. Hoop Porty said, "Oh, he saw Alex Lynn said, what? Oh, we're gonna take care of this business." And I don't think we have any argument that Ariel Hoop Porty is better than Alex Lynn right now. I don't think we have any argument about that. None, right? Yeah, so yeah, Lakers could use him. And listen, how many of y'all was out here crying? We should trade Mitchell Robinson for Aiton. How'd that look now? Aiton can't even score in preseason, can't get a damn rebound. I never liked him. I couldn't understand why Phoenix drafted him #1. I really didn't get it. I would have traded down. I never thought he was all that. I never thought he was all that. And I was like, why are they giving him all that money? I was like, oh, hell no. And people wanted to trade Mitch Rob for him. They only thing they got in common is they both about the same height, 7 feet tall. They both got long arms. But Mitch Rob gets boards. Mitch Rob gets boards. He gets offensive boards. Yeah. So all of the G League, all of the two-way dudes are on the team. Right? So you really got the NBA roster is 15 players, and 3 of those players can be G League two-way players, right? So 3 of those could be two ways. So the Knicks already signed. You got Tucson, a woman, you got Jameson, and you got McCullough. There's your 3 two ways. That's it. So two-way guys are locked in on a two-way deal. So now you're talking 12 players. We already named 10 when you include Shaman. So now you got 2 more. You got to give Diawara a spot. So now you got 1 more. I'm telling you, they trading Daddier, and they're going to – Kolick might be able to stay. I don't know. But they have to trade Kolick and Daddier to get Matthews. I'm going to tell you it's going to be Shamet first, Brogdon second, Garrison Matthews third. So Brogdon and Shamet are going to be on this team. They trading Daddier. I'm telling you right now. Listen to Raw. They trading Daddier. And Garrison, it's up to if they want to keep Kolick. If they want to keep Kolick, okay. That's right. Well, your organic fanatic, see, he's thinking the right way. He said the Don trying to get a pick for that. That's exactly what he's trying to do. Because he picked him in the first round. You think the Don just giving away a first round pick? He gonna get at least a second for that boy. He gonna get at least a second for him. Okay. Greetings, Wallflower. He gonna get a second for him. So yeah. Nah, it's on. It's on. It's on. Good morning, V-Spec. Mitch, Cat, Yabu, Hoop, Jameson. That's right. That's your center rotation. That's exactly it. And actually, I would really want to put Hoop Porty above Yabu because Yabu is really a backup 4. What y'all say? I say Yabu should spend most of his minutes at the 4, and then you really utilize Hoop Porty. Because I think Hoop Porty got a little bit more than we think. If he gets some more minutes, I think he does. And look, in the 82-game season, all them cats are going to play. Okay? In the 82-game season, it's a long season. All them cats going to play. Okay? So, and I'm glad of that. So, Brown is going to utilize everybody, that's on the roster. You're going to utilize everybody that's out there at one time or another. Not like a guy like Diawara at first is not going to get consistent minutes. He's going to be like the situational dude. But I feel like over the course of time, as people sprain ankles and stuff, you're going to see him get a little few minutes too. So it's all good, man. Now, what I really like, what I was concerned with Mr. Brown, well, one of my concerns was his defense. Now, Sacramento was terrible on defense. They were great on offense, but terrible on defense, which is why they ain't go nowhere. You got to play defense in the league if you want to go somewhere. Say what you want about Tom Thibodeau. His teams fought on defense, and that showed in the differential. He was always top 10 in differential, and his teams always top 10 in defense. But somebody made a good point about Mike Brown. I forgot who, but they said Mike Brown is the type of coach that utilizes what he has. And I have to agree with that. So Sacramento did not have stellar defensive talent. They had stellar offensive talent, and he utilized that. Whereas in Cleveland, when his team did play high level defense and they went to the finals, he had defensive talent, gritty defensive players, and then LeBron. So that's why they did it. But but now he's got both sides of the ball, and the defense is tight. All the guys that play now defense. The worst defender I saw in the preseason was Cat, which we kind of know already. But even Cat wasn't that bad. Right, I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about your Matt Ryans or Alex Lynch. I'm talking about people that play. So even Cat wasn't that bad. Okay. And the lost weight, I know he said he lost weight so he can play the 4, but his ass better play some defense. And so he looked like he's trying at least. So we're going to need more. That was you, Coach House? Yeah. He adapts his style to the talent that he has. Some players, some coaches are good at that. Brown is good at that. So now he's got both sides of the ball covered. Yeah, he gets deflections too. Yeah, so I guess what I'm saying is the defense is tight. And it's early. So you want to start the season off with tight defense. Now, offensively, what I'm seeing from Brown is he's being extremely patient. He's not rushing them to get his system. He's trusting that they will. That's a big difference. He's not rushing Jalen Brunson to understand the system. He's trusting that Jalen Brunson will understand. In fact, he's expressing confidence that he knows. And Brunson is expressing confidence. So they're really just playing with their food on offense right now. And also, we got to take into account the number of players played in preseason that's not going to play during the regular season. He gave a lot of minutes to. So once these first 9 guys get used to, the offense, the way it's going to be run, the Knicks are going to be rough, man. And somebody said, how many games? I'm thinking 15 to 30. I'm going to make a wide range. I'm thinking between 15 and 30 games it will take them to really get this offense clicking. So, and they produce a lot of steals already. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. And honestly, I don't care if Mitchell Robinson starts or if Deuce McBride starts or if Josh Hart starts. I really don't care because they're all going to play. And they're all going to play a lot of minutes, all of those guys. Okay. I don't think anybody on the Knicks is going to play much more than 32 minutes. I don't see that. Unless it's overtime, right? But on a regular, I think really you're talking about 30 minutes for your key players at the most. Like, so your JBs, your Malik, your McCalls, your OGs, you're talking about 30 minutes. Mitch Rob's going to be less than that. Mitch Rob's going to be less than 25, as he should be. Okay. I like the way the defense is starting. And I want to see what happens tomorrow night because Washington is going to be a lottery team because they don't have no defense. But Washington has a lot of offensive talent. What's up, Guilford? Washington has a lot of offensive talent. So it's going to be a good test to see how the Knicks fare against that team. Okay. Yeah. That's right, John Petty. It's how we finish. And that's another issue I have with Mr. Brown. I've never seen his teams, except for the LeBron Cleveland teams, finish strong. So let's see. We're going to have to see what happens. Yeah. Deuce knew exactly what Juju was going to do. And Deuce stripped him accordingly. Yes, he did. Man. And so, yeah. No, Knicks Nation, we were going over the numbers. It's not about whether he can show what he could do. It's all about numbers. Pacome Daddy is 2 million 2.8 million is better for the Knicks to move than Kolic's 2.1. It's not even about. Please get out your head that you think he's underperforming or he needs time to show you. We know the boy got talent. It's not. It's all about business and numbers. We're not debating whether Pacome Daddier got talent, whether he's an NBA player. He is. It's all about the math right now. And so, in a championship year, you're not worried about a 20-year-old kid. You're worried about winning a chip. Let me ask you all a question. Let's say they traded Pacome Daddier. Let's say they traded Tyler Kolick. Let's say they traded James Najee, right? And they win the championship this year. Would y'all care about those trades in June? You hear what I'm saying? Would y'all care about how many picks they gave them for Mikal Bridges in June if they're coming down Fifth Avenue in a parade? Would you want? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So if they traded Daddier and they traded Kolick and then would y'all care? You wouldn't care. Why? Because the point they're trying to do is win the championship. So this is a year you're looking for the chip. You got to go for the gusto. You got to go for the gusto. And you still got Dink Pate and James Najee in your G League, and you got Diawara on the $1.1 million contract. Okay? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Gilbert. That's right. It's grown man business right now. This ain't about babies. This ain't about kids. This ain't about future. It's now. You worked 5 years. And that's what a lot of people, somebody said, well, Don did a lot of moves to get us here in 1 year. I said, no, you're looking at it wrong, man. See, that's checkers. The Don's been working this for 5 years. This ain't 1 year. This is 5 years. And so he's built this team over a 5-year stretch. All the moves he made is to get to this point. Okay. He wasn't just like, let me think about what I can do this year. No, he's trying to build it. It's a chess game. Chess game is 2-3 moves ahead. See, y'all are listening to some of this BS media clickbait as if the Knicks just react to the situation without having a plan. The plan is long term. Every move is long term. Okay. King Ribby asked, what do I feel if they traded Deuce? That's like asking what I would feel like if I had $1 billion, neither of which is going to happen. So I don't spend time thinking about what ain't going to happen. See, this is the thing. Y'all heard this term before. You ever heard people say, what was you doing? And they say like this. Check this out. They say, we were shooting the shit. Anybody, you ever heard that term before? We were shooting the shit. That's what they say. What does that mean? That means they're just talking. It was nothing serious. It was this BS talking, right? Shooting shit. Well, this is the thing. I don't like to do that with the Knicks. A lot of people do, and I'm not downing you. So they'll talk about a Deuce trade as if something real is going to happen. It's not. They're not trading Deuce. Not this year. I'm not saying 2 years from now they won't trade Deuce, but I'm saying right now, they're not trading Deuce McBride. He's an important part of this championship roster. He ain't going nowhere. And anybody talking about trading him is just shooting the shit. They just want something to talk about and debate. That's what clickbait is about. It's about creating something that people want to talk about that don't mean anything. It don't mean anything. It really don't. So anybody talking about Deuce is just talking because Deuce ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. And the reason I know that is because I know how valuable he is to this team. I only look at players in terms of how can the Knicks win a championship. I don't even look at players because they got Cam Reddish. Y'all remember him? I liked him because of his talent, and I thought that talent could be developed to help us win a championship. When homie was always hurt, he lost me. Mitch Rob would have lost me, but Mitch Rob single-handedly destroyed the whole front line of the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. You remember that, right? Single-handedly made Embiid give him his lunch, and Embiid had to resort to all kind of dirty tricks because he was looking terrible. Mitch Rob made him look like a little boy. We are the better team. No, you're not. Mitch Rob beat your ass. See? So that's what I'm talking about. I'm looking to win a chip. I don't care if the player looks good in the uniform. I want to see, can we win a chip? Deuce McBride, from the time he was drafted, I said, that's a chip piece right there. That's a chip piece right there. Why? Because we had Calderon. Y'all remember Jose Calderon couldn't guard his damn shadow? And we had no point of attack defense. I mean, none. When I saw Deuce McBride, well, that's what I was excited about Frank Nitti. But Frank Nitti became head of the groin department of Anthony Ambulance University. And so when he became head of the groin department of Anthony Ambulance University, I knew he was out of the Knicks. I knew Tom Thibodeau wasn't having that. You can't be anywhere near Anthony Ambulance University if you want to work and play for Tom Thibodeau, especially if you're on the bubble. So I thought that my man could be point of attack defense. That's why I was so excited about him. I thought my man Frank could be point of attack defense, but he decided he didn't want to be point of attack defense. He decided he wanted to split his time between getting his money in the league and being chairman of the board of the groin department of Anthony Ambulance. Okay, go do that, but you can't be with us. Deuce McBride is available. He's hell to pay on defense. Am I lying to y'all yet? Deuce McBride is available, and he's hell to pay on defense. Okay? So, no, he's not being traded. He is not being traded. So to say, how would I feel about it? I don't need to feel any way about it because I know he ain't going nowhere. Deuce is here. Deuce is here, man. So I ain't worried about that. Certain players I ain't worried about. I think there's a bigger chance of Cat being traded than Deuce. I ain't lied yet. There's a bigger chance of Cat being traded than Deuce. Anybody thinking still of the pipe dream of Giannis, you better be thinking of a Cat trade. That will not happen unless Cat is traded. The money doesn't work unless Cat is traded. See? So you can't get that money to get a Giannis here unless you're moving Cat. And I don't think they're moving Cat. I'm not saying they're going to move him. In fact, I know they're not. Unless Cat completely collapses, which I don't think is going to happen this coming playoffs. I think Cat's going to be all that in a bag of chips come playoff time. But if he was to collapse and all of a sudden, Giannis won in New York, Cat would be the guy out. They'd have other pieces that have to go, but Cat would be your main guy because you're talking about $60 million for $60 million. Giannis makes about $60 million and Cat makes about $60 million. It's almost dollar for dollar. The Knicks would have to give up some picks, but they don't have the picks. That's why the trade ain't happening unless they get help from another team. And who wants to help the Knicks get Giannis? Really? Let's be real about that. See, when they were getting Mikal Bridges, we had all kind of picks that we wasn't going to use anyway. We wasn't using no picks. People said, why we gave away so many picks? Because we wasn't going to use them. We're right there on the precipice of being a championship team. You don't need no damn picks then. Only Oklahoma City is in Houston, well, Oklahoma City, who won the chip, is in a position that I don't think very many teams will ever be in, where they got a whole plethora of picks and they got a championship roster. Let me tell you something right now. They're not going to be able to use all their picks. They're going to have to trade them. The team is young and it's good. What they going to get picks for? You know what I'm saying? But my man Sam Presti did this deal. Sam Presti's the man. You got to give it to him. He's the man. He's the man. See, I love the Don. I love the Don. But Sam Presti's the man. He is. He is the man. Yeah. So, but they could look. Let me tell you something. They could lose Hartenstein next summer and still win the championship in 2026. That's how good that team is. They could lose Hartenstein next summer, and they can put in Jay Will, and they'll still win the championship. Jay Will only like 22, 23. Okay? Don't mess around with OKC, man. Sam Presti and them tight. Game tight, man. Game tight. Yeah, so Yeah, Von. See, that's all clickbait. See, BSPN said they didn't do the right thing by not trading for Jan. So how stupid is that? And listen, man, Stephen A. Smith hated that they drafted. He couldn't even say Kristaps Porzingis' name. What's his name? What? Stupid idiot. He wanted us to give away half our team to get to Carmelo. We did that. Did we win the championship? No. Okay. He thought, what you getting Jalen Brunson for? You investing in Brunson. How's that look now? Stephen A. stupid is more. He's stupid, but I tell you what, I wouldn't mind being that stupid for $10 million a year. He's box office, right? We should have got LaMelo Ball because he's box office. Dude play 40 games a year. the hell we want him for? And ain't got a damn lick of defense. What the hell we want him for? Yeah, they should. You know who should have a show? Stephen A. Stupid should have a show with Mark Berman. Now that would be box office comedy right there. That would be box office comedy. Stupid on a level you ain't never seen before. They would be the president and vice chairman of BSPN Stupid University. You know what I'm saying? They should have Mark Berman and Stephen A. Stupid. And then if you really want to get it blow up, talking about blow up, you want to get Brian Windbag in there. You want to get Brian Windbag in there. You want to really blow the mess up? You get Brian Windbag in there. Even Asola is not. I mean, Asola I didn't like because he liked to piss all over the Knicks when they was down. But I respect him as a reporter more than these other clowns. But yeah, you get Brian Windbag in there. Yeah. Paul Pierce with the big, giant, gaudy, fake gold around his neck. Put him in there. Yeah. Oh man, you got the Nick hater galore. That would be box office. Stephen A. Stupid, Brian Windbag, and then you get Blockbuster Berman. Stephen A. Stupid, Brian Windbag, and Stephen and Mark Blockbuster Berman. Put them in there. That would be a tremendous crew right there. That ESPN would blow up right there. BSPN be on the top. Oh yeah, well Broussard, Broussard and Windbag. Their entire career is based on their reporting of LeBron James. They don't know nothing about reporting anything else but LeBron. That's all they know. And they got this fake reputation of being so close to LeBron. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, did they go for it? I'm not surprised. To me, when you actually understand even a little bit about the NBA, and you understand even a little bit, which all of us in this room know more about the New York Knicks than BSPN. Now, you know what's sad about that? BSPN has access to practices. They have access to players. They have access to things you and I can't see. We can't see a practice every day. We can't talk to Brown. Right? They have access and they still don't know a damn thing. And again, don't let me get on my soapbox, but it's not about reporting anymore. News, all news, but this is particularly true of sporting news. It's about creating a narrative. And let me even be more specific. It's like creating a narrative that's controversial. That's what reporting is today. It's not even about actual news, actual facts. It's about creating narratives that create controversy, which means the narrative is something they just made up, and the controversy they create with the narrative. And this, look here. If you BSPN, right, you know very well you're going to get a whole lot of exposure because of who you are. You got a lot of money, right? You got a lot of money. You BSPN, you billions of dollars. So, hey, listen, if they took Coach Hauser and they spent $100 million promoting Coach Hauser be a billionaire tomorrow, right? So why? Because Coach Hauser, they got all the commercials, everything around him, the color. They put the arm candy. What's the chick name that was there? Molly. They put arm candy like Molly next to him, and you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna watch Coach Hauser. Molly's there, right? And so Coach Hauser could say anything he wants, and he's gonna be promoted big time because he got big money behind him. That's all the clickbait. That's what it's all about. Okay. Everybody wants to get all of these influential big money behind them. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It matters whether people watch. That's all that matters. It only matters if you click. That's it. That's why every content creator, almost everyone, because I don't do it, but I'm just saying, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm lying to you. Don't every content creator say, please like and subscribe. Please click on my video because it helps my algorithm. Please, why do you think they do that? Because the more clicks they get, the more money you make. Isn't that right? Now, I don't do that. You know why? I like making money. I make some money on my channel. But if y'all think that I'm going to kiss somebody's ass to click on my channel, I got a rude awakening. I had somebody going, I'm done with this channel. Do me a favor and get the hell out there. I don't need you here. You hear what I'm saying? I like making money, but my life is not revolving around my YouTube check. It's not. Okay? My life doesn't revolve around my YouTube check. I like YouTube. I like the money. But I ain't kissing nobody's ass. Get the hell out. Because I want to have fun. See, right now, I am so thankful to the creator. You know why? Guilford McCorbin, Coach House, Wellflower, Organic Fanatic, Cherokee Indian. These are the type of dudes I wanted to discuss Knicks with. Yup, Senior B. These are the dudes I want to discuss. I want to have a crew of people I can discuss Knicks with. That ain't taking, Wild Irish Rose every 5 minutes, or got a crack pipe next to him, or got a picture with their hand, one hand on their gonads and one hand on the board. I want dudes that are rational, that I can discuss Knicks content. See, like Jay Sniper. See what I'm saying? John Pett. That's all I'm saying. And that's why, I spend a lot of time getting rid of fools. Oh, you want to come in and act a fool? We can have a short conversation. It's called click by. Bye, boy. And I think I'll be fair when I say you can't come in here talking about Deuce. You can't come in here talking about Mitch Rob. You can't come in here talking about Tibbs, even though he's not coaching. Once a Knick, always a Knick. You come in here talking mess about my fellas, you got to go. For the Knicks, by the Knicks, right? There you go. This ain't for the this ain't for the fans, by the fans. No disrespect, but that ain't here. You better go to another channel. Oh, you want to go someplace and act stupid? Oh, they love that on channel because that's more clicks. Okay, I feel you right, Jay Sniper. He's been starting so far all 3 games of the preseason. Mitch starts. I'm gonna tell you what. If Mitch does not start tomorrow, that's gonna be interesting. If Mitch starts tomorrow, guaranteed he's the starter now, right? And why wouldn't he love it? That's right. Why wouldn't he? Mitch Rob is a game changer. He's a game changer, right? Yeah, Senior B, that's what I'm saying. And look, I'm not trying to down. Let me just be straight with you. If what's his name? Fan TV, if that's what he wants to do with his channel, that's his channel. Who am I to say what he should do with his channel? And if he's obviously doing well, right? I mean, he's got a big exposure. He gets big names on his channel, right? That come on his channel and promote it. Okay. All right, that's cool. But then he gets some, I can't even name some of the crazy fools that come on yelling in his channel, complaining about stuff that had nothing. What? And I'll be like, I can't watch it. I can't watch it. So, but I can't down him if that's how he makes his money. And I'm sure he's making good money. I'm sure Fan TV is making big money, selling merch, getting, big time, well-known people to come on his channel. I'm sure he's making money. And listen, man, let him make his money. But that's not the way I'm going to make money. You know what I'm saying? That's not, I don't care about that. Okay? So whatever. Everybody got their stick. That's his stick, I'm just saying. Stephen A. Stupid makes money by being stupid and being loud on BSPN. He makes money that way. Okay, make your 10 million, bro. Go on, do your thing. I can't say nothing about it. 10 million? I wouldn't mind that. You know what I'm saying? But it's what it is, right? Me, myself, I'm more serious about my team. I want to know if my team is good. I want to know how close they are to a championship. I want to know what they need to do to win a championship. And right now, in my view, they have done everything they need to do to get to the chip. And I don't want to mess it up. But, of course, in order to get clicks, we got to talk about trading Deuce. We got to talk about getting Giannis in a year where we're ready to win the chip. You see what I'm saying? And then there's people that just wait for content to come out and then they blow it up as if they created. They're just really copying somebody else's BS. It's sad, really, but it is what it is, so, Let me see. D. Gon says the Knicks need a point guard. Let's think about this. So we have the depth chart is Jalen Brunson, so we don't need to replace him. Deuce McBride, no, we don't need to replace him. And then we're gonna have Malcolm Brogdon. I think we're good. No, I think we're good. I think we're good. My man, Senior Beef. I think we're good. We don't need no damn point guard. See, let me just explain my experience here. When somebody says the Knicks need and they name a position, right? What they're really doing is angling for a specific player that they want to see on the Knicks. That's what they're doing. Okay. Or they're hating on a specific player. So a guy like that, like D. Gonz, that says we need a point guard, he's going to be one of those guys that says Deuce is not a point guard. That's what he's going to say. Isn't that right, D. Gonz? Am I right about that? He's going to say Deuce is not a point guard. We need a real point guard. We need more ball handling. That's just the narrative to say, okay, let's justify moving Deuce. See, usually there's an angle, there's an agenda. And when I call it out, they don't like it because I just called it out, right? So what player is it he wants? I don't know. He'll tell us because he wants to move Deuce and say Deuce is not a point guard, and then he wants to put somebody else in the spot. That's why he said that. Okay, that's why somebody said we need a center. Oh, so what you're really saying is you don't like Mitchell Robinson. Then they'll say, no, Mitchell Robinson's too injury prone. We need to get somebody that's more solid. Okay. There's always an angle. It ain't like, they really have a need at the position. They have a favorite player they want to see there, and they hate a player that's already there. That's what it is. Okay, so the Knicks need a wing. Do we? Let me see. We got Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet. I don't think we need a wing. But if they say, well, we need to trade for it, that's why you say we need to win. I got it. And then especially come draft time. Oh, God. For some reason, I never see when you're a rebuilding team, you're looking heavily at the draft because you're looking to develop. Okay? You're looking to develop. And so you want a rookie that's going to play. But when you're in play, you're a perennial, long-term, sustainable winner like the Knicks have been for the last 3 years. You're not looking at, there's no rookie that's going to play. See, everybody said the Knicks we need to go draft this guy because he's going to play. No, he's not going to play. You saying he's going to play in 2 years or 3 years? I don't know, because he's not going to play. You remember when they got Kolek? Oh, Kolik's going to be back up to JB. Deuce is losing his spot. Kolik's going to take his minutes. Do y'all remember that? Because that was the narrative the year that Kolek got drafted. And I was telling you, this is Tom Thibodeau's team. Kolek is not going to play. He's a rookie. Y'all remember that? And that's typical. That happens every year. Every season. It's like on a repeat. Oh, this guy is going to be starter for the Knicks. He's going to be in the rotation. Especially he's not going to be, if he's not in a lottery. No. And when's the last time the Knicks actually drafted in the lottery? I'll tell you, Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin was the last player the Knicks drafted in the lottery. And he's an Indiana Pacer now. Okay? He's the last player. The Don don't like to draft that high because he feels he can get value cheaper. We could have gotten Maxey, and we could have gotten Desmond Bane. They were available when the Knicks picked. The Knicks picked Emmanuel quickly, and they traded down to get Emmanuel quickly. They got our guy, Quentin Grimes. They traded down to get Quentin Grimes. Everybody was all excited when they picked, I forgot who it was. And they said, oh, we're going to get this guy. And I said, no, you're going to trade it. And he traded down, and they got him. Yeah, but SGA was pre-Don. He was pre-Leon Rose. I don't really count SGA because that was when Phil Jackson was picking. And we all know how that worked out. Phil Jackson was picking, he had people picking that ain't with the Knicks no more. But yeah, SGA came out then. But when the Don is picking, it's a different story. It's a different story. So yeah. I know, right? Senior B. That's all I'm saying. So when you got, you know, they're picking Frank Ntilikina over SGA or Donovan Mitchell was available when they picked Frank Ntilikina. Donovan Mitchell was on the board. Yeah, he wanted Frank to run a triangle. Like the whole world was on a triangle. What Phil Jackson was deluded into thinking, and I guess he would be getting $60 million for free from James Dolan. He was deluded into thinking the reason he won all those championships was because of the triangle. The reason he won all those championships is because he had Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal in their primes. That's why he won championships. He could have run okie doke and he was going to win championship with those guys. It wasn't his. He thinks that his triangle was the difference. It wasn't. And if you ever seen those guys, you know I'm telling you the truth. He ain't win no damn championship because he ran the triangle. He won a championship because he ran Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, okay, Dennis Rodman, and then Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant in their prime. That's why he won. Okay? That's why he won. Yeah, so he came to Knicks thinking it was triangle. So he tried to run triangle. He drafts a triangle, and we win 17 games. Man, that's right. Popovich is the man. Popovich is the man. That's right. I agree with you. Popovich is the man. I give people like Popovich, like Spoelstra, Tibbs. They've had different types of teams, and they won with those teams. Okay, they grind, man. They know what they're doing. They got game. They got a game. Some of these guys, man, you fortunate to get a Michael Jordan on your team. You should win a championship. Okay, like Kevin Durant I believe he could have won a championship if he'd have stayed in Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. I think they would have won a chip. I really do. He to me, he ain't have enough heart to stick with his team. Yeah. Let's see. So he should have stuck with his team. He joins a team that's already won a championship, already set the record for wins in the season. It's already stacked. He ain't do nothing. You want to talk about an asterisk? I'll put an asterisk next to that. Even though they did win the chip, I don't give Durant no credit. Steve Kerr too. No, I ain't gonna lie. The problem I had with Steve Kerr was that he came in and they, to me, unjustly blackballed Mark Jackson. But that ain't Steve Kerr's fault. But he just happened to be the guy that replaced Mark Jackson, who really built that team. But Steve Kerr, to me, is a genius. There's no doubt he's a genius. He won a lot of championships on the coattails of Michael Jordan, playing that spot-up shooter. Same thing in San Antonio. He did the same thing. He won. I think Kerr got like what 5, 6 rings as a player, and then he's got at least 3 or 4 as a coach. Okay, but yeah. So Kerr's a genius to me. The offensive sets that he runs, I still had a hard time figuring it out because you can know what he's going to run, and he has so much movement of body on offense. It's ridiculous. And then to have a shooter, an all-time shooter like Curry. Daggone, man. He is something else, man. So yeah, I have great respect for Steve Kerr. Great respect for him. Yes, I did, Coach House. I was happy to see that. I did see that. Yes, exactly. There are some guys that are just like that. They're just winners, man. Kerr is one of those guys. There's guys that's just winners. They're gonna win wherever they go. And some of them are not the greatest players, but they win. Okay, that's all it means. They win, man. There's guys that just where they go, they win. Okay, who was that guy's name? Danny Green. Y'all remember Danny Green? One with San Antonio, one with Toronto. I mean, that's he's just gonna win, man. That's it. And so, yeah. So Steve Kerr is one of the greatest coaches ever. I wouldn't say he's one of the greatest players ever, but he's played on some of the greatest teams ever, and he's one of the greatest coaches ever. For his record shows it. 4 chips, man. Robert Ory. Yeah, Robert Ory got like 4 or 5 chips. That's right. So yeah, so I respect. Yeah, Danny Green was another guy, spot up shooter, great defender, and wins championships. Havlicek, another great, but Havlicek, in my view, at one time he's my favorite player. At one time, Havlicek was my favorite. When they called him Hondo, he was my favorite player. But Havlicek was a great player, and he won championship. Yeah, yeah. They called him Hondo. I loved Hondo, man. He was a great player. Move without the basketball, run. Mikal Bridges is a lot like Hondo. A lot like Hondo. A lot like that. It's built very similar too. Skinny, run all day. Yeah, that's Havlicek. You seeing Havlicek a little bit when you seeing Mikal Bridges. They played very similar games. Very similar games. That's why I was killing me. People criticizing Mikal Bridges. Yes, he made some mistakes. It was his first year with the team, but come playoff time, y'all wasn't sorry you got him. I'm telling y'all, get them 5 picks. Oof. And listen, the road runner. This is gonna be the road runner's year, man. Road run. This is gonna be the road runner's year right here. Y'all gonna see the road runner in all his glory this year, man. Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, I like Hondo was a Hall of Fame. He belonged in the Hall of Fame. Multiple championships with the Celtics. Multiple. Okay. But yeah. Yeah. Ori won 7? Oh, I didn't know that. I know he won with San Antonio and the Lakers, but he won 7. Was he with all 3 Lakers championships with Shaq and Kobe? I know he was with San Antonio. He got 8? I didn't even know that. Damn. Talk about a winner. This dude know about a parade, man. Oh, I didn't know that. He was Rockets too. Horry was on the Rockets. Yeah, Hondo got a lot of rings because he won some with Bill Russell. And then after Bill Russell retired, he won more. Yeah. So no, the Roadrunner gonna do his thing. They done messed around and gave the Roadrunner a coach that's gonna play to his strengths, man. And the Roadrunner gonna do his thing. He really is. I ain't worried about that boy at all. He's gonna play. Okay. And I think some people was talking about last year he should come off the bench. I was like, y'all just drunk, man. Y'all need to stop with that Mad Dog 2020. Shoot. Anyway, me and my baby got to go catch the first. I'm gonna have a early dinner, I guess we call it. Me and my baby gonna have an early brunch or dinner, whatever you call it, before I head off for 3 days to DC. So I love hanging out and talking Knicks with y'all. This is the crew I like. Y'all hear Omari Belgrave, G. Bostino, Delmar Brown, John Pettit. Y'all the crew. Y'all the crew that I want, man. Y'all the crew that Raw Hebrew likes to hang out with. Coach Hauser. If we ever get together at a restaurant, we got to get all the crew here. I'd like to have all the crew. I don't know. Some of y'all in New York, some of y'all, but we in Florida. So we got to figure that out. We'll figure it out, man. We're going to figure it out. Oh, I'm leaving at the right number too. 144 people. Perfect. Listen, y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you are off for Indigenous Peoples Day, which is tomorrow, Indigenous Peoples Day, enjoy that. Be safe out there, y'all. Thank you again for hanging out and talking with our favorite team, talking about our favorite team, our favorite crew, who is doing our thing, doing their thing. Shalom.